And we are a go. Tina Santiago, thank you for doing this show.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, for those of you that do not know, before we even open this, I want to let you do something I never let you do, ever. For people that don't know, Tina is my hairstylist, an extraordinaire. So if you want a good haircut and a good conversation, talk to Tina. Cheers.
Cheers. 100 freaking calories,
Yeah.
thanks.
Are you counting calories?
Still, yeah.
Why?
Again. Because.
Is that the easiest way for you to figure or keep track? Mm-hmm. Disciplined?
I try to be.
Yeah. What kind of diet are you following?
I do my MyFitnessPal, so like whatever. A lot of salads, chicken now.
So you eat clean?
Oh, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
But what I mean is, are you doing like keto? Or are you doing...
No.
You just eating healthy?
I just know that like... Yeah, that's gonna...
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Here. Take the one that's not... there you go. I just know that certain things, if you cut everything out, it's just not going to be sustainable for the whole time. So as long as you make conscious decisions on a daily basis, it's okay to go to McDonald's. It's okay to go to Portillo's, just not 3 times a day. Not every single day.
Right. And you can also eat semi-responsibly at those places. Or I shouldn't say responsibly. What's a good word?
Consciously.
More nutritious?
Yeah, but it's very hard for when somebody else controls it and you don't have full control over it. So it's like if you go to Chick-fil-A and they're supposed to put 2 tablespoons of a sauce or something, but they put a whole lot more. Right. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be 300 calories, but then it's all the way up to like 550 and you don't even realize it.
Wow, so you really, do you mark down each thing on your phone?
When I lost all that weight, yes.
You know what's funny? How much weight did you lose? You don't mind me asking?
Total of 104.
Nice job. High five. Good job. I'm proud of you. Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why I brought you on here. But again, before we even get into what we're getting into, I'm going to allow you to start this off by telling a joke.
Oh!
So, go ahead.
Do you want a good one or a bad one?
Give me both.
And what does a nosy pepper do?
I don't know.
It gets jalapeno business.
Is that the bad one?
I don't know. It might be.
Okay, what's the other one? You don't know another one, do you?
No, I do, but I don't know if I should start it off like
Go ahead, let's start it off.
Let's start it off? Yeah. Okay. I heard this one from a client.
Okay.
So I will...
Which means you made that up and you're blaming it on the client.
I am totally blaming it on a client.
Okay.
So there are 3 samurais that are saying that they're the best. And the first samurai sees a fly, grabs a sword, and swings the sword, and you hear boop, and the fly's cut in half and it falls on the ground. Okay. And then the second is like, no, that's nothing. He sees a fly, he grabs a sword, he swings it, boop, and the wings are cut down the middle. And the
fly's still alive.
Fly is dead.
Fly's dead.
Fly's dead.
Okay.
Third samurai says, that's nothing. He sees a fly, he swings a sword, you hear boop, and the fly flies away. And the other 2 are like, dude, you didn't even kill him. He's like, oh, the fly can fly, but he cannot fuck.
Oh, castrated him.
Mm-hmm. I find that one funny.
You find that funny?
I do.
Okay. Well,
you know most of my jokes, though.
I do. And they're mom jokes.
Thank you for not calling them dad jokes. That's not fair that they get all the credit.
Well, we gotta have something.
Well, you guys have fanny packs. I don't know.
Yeah,
you guys are bringing back fanny packs, I think.
I think that's because of actually Joe Rogan. He's a big fanny pack guy.
I just started following him on Instagram. I haven't actually stalked him yet, but I was like, oh man, where's he been?
Unfortunately, I stalk him. I'm not proud of it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody has their hobbies.
Yeah, I know. Well, TJ wanted to tell me a joke about my son, my baby.
All right.
My little 8-year-old man who takes after me. But he tried to tell me a joke the other day about a vacuum, but it sucked.
I like that one. Why didn't you start with that one? That one's way better.
Because I have to build into it. Come on.
Okay. Well, feel free to throw in a joke every now and then.
I probably will.
You seem to like comedy a lot.
I do.
Did you ever want to be a stand-up comedian?
I knew I shouldn't have told you.
Yeah, you should.
So I will go into that. For a very long time, I liked being on stage. I was always in choir. I was always doing solos and duets and that kind of stuff through high school. I love karaoke. I just like being up there. The thing is that I can't just stand up there and just talk to just an audience and be like, hey, listen to me, because something's gonna fly over.
Okay.
But you can make when you make a conversation with somebody else and there's jokes and there's comedy involved, I think between two people, it's even funnier than just one person just telling stories.
So you mean what we're doing now instead of me sitting down and you performing in front of
you? In front of you, right. So, like, what I wanted mine to be was a two-way
Wait, time out. What you wanted your what to be?
If I were to ever be a comedian on stage, what my thing would be is I would ask an audience member, come up, you're going to get a haircut. But set it up to where there's a two-way mirror so we cannot see the audience. So that way it's not like intimidation.
Right.
But the audience can see us. And then have a conversation like how you and I do.
Right.
And some
and
of it's funny.
That.
And then just
have you ever thought of kind of doing what I'm doing here, but doing it at your work?
No.
Or setting up a place at your house, putting up a webcam, and just going and seeing what happens? Obviously, they're the clients you trust.
Right.
But have you ever thought of that?
No.
Ever see, I think it was HBO, Taxi Cab Confessions? Not that you would go that route.
I heard of it, but because, I'm partly Amish and I don't have cable. And remember that?
You were serious for a second.
No, and I don't have cable.
No, but you've heard of it, right?
I've heard of it.
Okay. So the whole thing is these people get in the back of a taxi cab and this guy, tells stories. I haven't actually watched one myself. I just heard it's raunchy. It's late at night. Mm-hmm. So you get some unique stories and things like that, right? But I'm sure if you had people assign, like if you recorded it and you thought, hey, this is a really good one, you mind signing this off? I do this little thing. I mean, what do you call it? Jerry Seinfeld now does one with he sits in a car and he goes and gets coffee with other comedians.
Right.
So it sounds like, I think it's a good premise. And I think you should try it. What are you waiting for?
Because I never thought of anything like that. The way that let me start off this. The fact that you asked me to do this.
Yeah.
And what the premise is behind it and how you just want to basically talk to just interesting people. Yeah. I was very flattered because I'm like, dude, I just talked my ass off, you know? But the way that I thought about it was any person that's in my chair and the conversation that I have with that person, something resonates with that person and it goes off somewhere else. And the fact that you asked me to talk to you like this and now this is going to be shown, something is going to positively come out of it. And that's what my whole thing is in general.
I like that. And that's actually one of the main reasons why I wanted you here. Because when I first met you, you were, I think you've done a complete, I always mess this up. The 360 is completely around, right?
Right, so 180.
So 180. I think you've done a complete 180 on your life. And I think the way you've done it, anybody can do it. Because instead of you just cold turkey, I'm not having sugar anymore. I feel you took all these small little steps. And each small step you took created momentum, and now it rolled with it. And next thing you know, you were all like, you've just become this. Each step you took, it seemed this inner strength in you started building and building and building. And now, what are you doing? You're kicking people. You're kicking. What are you kicking? You're kicking wood.
Well, it's wood, but it's it's like an inch plywood.
Hey, how many people your age kick wood and break it? Don't judge the people in your class. Judge the people outside.
I think if you put your mind to anything, you can do anything. And you're the only person that stops yourself from doing it.
What made you get there? Because I don't think a lot of people get there. I think a lot of people hear that, and I think a lot of people think to themselves, yeah, it's easier said than done, man. I mean, I'm on bad times, man. You don't know what I go through. You don't know what I deal with.
Right.
How do you combat that? Where did you get it? Tell me your story. Wherever you want to start from. You can start from the time you met me.
Well, I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, okay, because I remember by the end of being at Long Grove, I was over in that back corner.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, I've known you for probably at least 5 years now, at least because I was at Long Grove for 5 itself, and I'm not going to count everybody from day one, and I've been with Sporklets for 7 years.
Have you really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because TJ was only 9 months old.
Okay.
And now he's going to be 8. I've kept a child alive. I'm very proud of myself. No, I'm being very honest because I kill bamboo and I kill cactus.
It's funny. Ursula is the same. She's killed every pet. She had this vase, or she saw it in a magazine where they had a little betta fish at the bottom of a vase, and they put a big plant. And
like a terrarium or whatever.
Yeah, and I think you put a small little straw to drop in food pellets, but eventually he eats the roots of the plant, and the roots of the plant oxygenize, if that's even a word.
Yeah, whatever.
It puts oxygen in the
inside.
water, okay? Puts oxygen in the water, and it's supposed to keep the fish alive. I think we went through about 10 betta fish before she was like, okay, I can't do this.
No, you can't.
Yeah, and she kills plants. She doesn't like to admit it, but she kills plants.
But you have a beautiful baby.
Yeah, we have a beautiful baby. So we've kept her alive.
She didn't cry. She smiled at me.
No, actually, you actually got a pretty good moment with her, because she is not at this time of night. No, she's not.
I like babies. Babies are cute.
Maybe you think babies read that?
Yes. My sister. Oh my God, when she was little, her eyes, and she has like shit brown eyes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Okay. I have the pretty eyes. She has the dark brown one. Right?
Your sister, not the sister's baby.
My sister when she was a baby.
Oh, okay.
So she has the big brown eyes.
Yeah.
When she didn't like somebody, her eyes like popped open. Like,
really?
She was just like, but if she liked you, she like.
Was she a good judge of character?
I don't know.
I mean, like, for the people she didn't like, was there a reason?
I can't remember. I was like 10, 8.
Oh.
I'm just saying, like, when she was really little. Like,
that doesn't carry over? Like, as you guys are growing up and you don't sit there and look at your sister and go, you know what? She's right about that person. She told me to stay away from this guy, and she was right.
She never said that.
No?
No. Except for Tim.
All right.
So I'll be honest on that one, but
okay.
But I got TJ out of it, so I don't care.
Yeah. So. Anybody that knows me, anybody that knows a damn thing about me knows that I have a soft spot for single mothers.
Really?
Because I grew up.
Oh, that's
my mother. I grew up with a single mother, so I watched her struggle. Now she had her own demons that made struggling harder, but doing what I've have done so far for 10.5 months, and me and Ursula are both exhausted. I can't imagine doing it by yourself.
You just figure out a way.
Yeah, I would imagine you have to.
Right.
There's no choice. But I mean, at least that I know that if I have a bad day, like today, this morning, for some reason, I think I just got hit by, I don't know, the week or something. I had to lay down. I had to go. I had to take a nap. Yeah.
It's the weather. The weather has wiped out so many people.
Yeah.
And when you're like, all you see is rain, and all you see is like mugginess, and like.
How do you think people in Seattle deal with that?
Wait a second. Oh, that's one of the highest suicide rates. In
the United States?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seattle?
Yeah. Well, I heard it from Anthony Jeselnik, so I really don't know if it's real.
Good comedian.
I love him.
Yeah, he's fun. I like his. You see his new special on Netflix?
No, I have not.
Oh, you should get.
That's
probably.
Right. Well, I have the Netflix.
Oh, that's good.
I have.
You call it the Netflix?
I'm old. What do you expect?
How old are you?
No, I'm just kidding. How old do you think I am?
I actually.
You don't know?
35, 34?
34.
34? Yeah.
Just in January, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I got 10 years on you.
I know.
Okay. And if I know about Netflix and I was able to set up this podcast.
Yeah.
So I think you can figure it out.
I'm not technology.
I think you should do it. I think you should seriously do that. See what happens. Get your best friends, try it on your best friends. My first 4 episodes are people I know. So, see what happens. You never know. What if it becomes something?
What if I become I get on Ellen because of this? This is
not just Ellen. What if you're making money and you quit your job because you're doing that good on it? You never know.
I love my job. You know I love.
You would still be doing it.
I would.
But you're the boss now. You decide whose hair you cut. Maybe you start cutting celebrities' haircut.
No.
You don't want that?
No.
You never know.
No.
No?
No.
I'm sure they tip more.
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
Oh, you're gonna sing.
That's the farthest you.
That was great. That was.
Are you making fun of me?
I am. No, you were. I didn't expect you to be so
high
pitched.
Let me hear a karaoke girl.
No.
Okay.
I did win Cubs tickets for "Killing Me Softly," July 31st of 2000.
Did you go with the beat, the rap version of it?
I went with with the Fugees.
Was that Lauryn Hill?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Cool. So you won tickets for that?
I won my very first Cubs game that I ever went to, Sunday, July 31st of 2006, and they lost 15.
Did you like the Cubs game?
I think. Yeah, it was fine. I've been to 4 of them, and they've lost them all.
Oh, so you're a bad omen.
Completely.
Have you gone to a Packer game? Because you're a Packer fan. Have you done that?
I have not, but I have been to Lambeau. But not just for the...
You haven't walked in and watched a game? Mm-mm. It's actually a pretty cool thing. I'm not a big Packer fan at all.
No, we know. You're Patriots. You like Tom Brady.
I'm not a Patriot fan.
I know. You're a football fan, but you like Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady's...
What about Robert Kraft? You like what he did?
Hey, okay. Are you talking about when the brothel? The brothel? You want to hear my theory on that?
Sure.
Okay. He's a 79-year-old billionaire. If he wants to go into some place and get jerked off, okay.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's what my other friend said.
Yeah, I don't care.
And he's a huge Patriot.
I'm sure if any other owner did that, it'd be probably less of a story.
Probably.
Absolutely, it'd be less of a story. Do you know that there's a website? There's a website called Your Team Cheats, and it's every sports team in every sport has been caught for cheating of something. Pumping music louder into the stadium or slowing down the shot clock on a basketball game when things like that. Everybody's been caught cheating.
Well, I'm sure
everybody's been caught cheating. Yeah. My only question is, if this stuff was happening to the Jacksonville Jaguars, do you think there'd be any issue whatsoever?
None.
Nope.
0.
Nope.
Or the Bengals.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Is there Titans? Who's another one that we just don't care about?
Browns.
Yes. Browns.
I actually feel bad for Browns people. They can't even wear stuff that looks good.
Dude, they broke their losing streak by not winning their game last year.
What are you talking about?
They broke
by tying.
By tying the game.
Yeah. Well, the Browns are...
They broke their losing streak
Yeah.
by not
The way
winning.
that I think, the way that a lot of people handle their seasons is going, well, at least we're not the Browns. Sorry, anybody out there that's a Cleveland fan, I'm sorry. Actually, if you're a Cleveland fan, contact me. I will buy you a beer because I give you a lot of credit. I will buy somebody a beer that's a Cleveland Brown fan. Okay, I'm sorry. So what we were saying, you're supposed to take me back to how this momentum started.
I think
this mindset of this positivity.
I think that when you over life you are surrounded by more negativity versus positivity, the only person that can change your own mindset is you. So if I didn't want to be always negative on every single thing and always thinking bad about every single thing, I'm the only one that can say, well, then I have to change it.
But that's easy, man. It's easy to sit there and just live in that and not give yourself a reason to get up and not give yourself a reason to work out and not give yourself a reason to eat.
I have something that I have TJ.
Okay.
I have TJ, and I have to show him that by doing things your own way or by not being a good person in society in general, like not being a good person is just not good. You know, the more positive and the more good that you can spread to somebody else, the better it is for your own soul as well. You know, and so like I don't want him to think that you can live at home with your mommy and daddy all of your life. You have to work for what you have so that nobody can take that away from you. You can get fired from a job. Yeah. You can quit a job. Mm-hmm. But, like, nobody can take your knowledge. Nobody can take your skill. Nobody can take that, and you can go anywhere with it. And also, being empathetic is not something you can learn. That's something that's innately in you. And both his kindergarten and his first grade teacher wrote in their little notes and, like, their, like, end of the year stuff or whatever. Mm-hmm. He is very empathetic. He cares. He truly cares. And that comes from me. Because I do
Well, then,
care.
wait, hang on, time on. Don't you think he learned it then?
Maybe if you see somebody else doing it, you can bring the horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right?
Right, but if you bring them enough to water, they'll figure it out.
Maybe, but how many times, oh, you didn't put yours on vibrate.
No, I did not. You're right. Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
If
she meant my phone, people. Just FYI.
I think it was the iPhone ding.
Yeah, I know.
Ding.
Okay.
I think that, yeah, he can see me being that way, but if he isn't internally that way, I can do whatever I want to be a good person. But if you're not that internally in general, you're not going to do what I'm doing. You're not. I can only do so much.
Well, yeah, but I think I'm with you. I'm with you. But what I'm saying is there are people that inherently, I mean, there's inherently good people. There's inherently bad people. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard of a serial killer coming from a great family. I don't know. Maybe Bundy, but I don't think so. Didn't Bundy think his mom was his sister?
I don't remember. And you know what's really funny is because I have a lot of those like type of video, like those DVDs and stuff, documentaries.
Yeah.
At home, and it's like
those are crazy, aren't they?
They are. They are.
Why are we into that? Why do you think people get into serial killers?
Because I don't know. I don't want to get killed by a serial killer. I want
to know. So you're doing it for preparation?
I want to see the patterns.
So you're doing it for preparation?
I don't know. It's also just to see like how is one person so messed up like that and another person not?
Right. Going back to what we were talking about, because we can go off on tangents. Mm-hmm.
That is what we do.
Right.
That's why our haircuts take so long, because I have to stop and
do people get pissed?
Yes.
Like your bosses?
Just in general, people. They do notice that I take a long time, but
with your clients or just me in general? Or
I'm with my clients in general.
Because you tend to create. You create there's a sales term for it. You create not camaraderie.
Camaraderie?
No. Oh God, why can't I think of it? It'll come to me when we're in the middle of a conversation. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Okay.
Common ground?
No. Whatever. I can't think of it.
Okay.
I don't want to waste the time. I want to get to the point of, okay, you're saying that TJ, right? You're saying that he's a caring, empathetic young man. Mm-hmm. And that's not learnable. I say bullshit. I think it's learnable.
I think part of it is, but actual empathy by putting yourself into somebody else's shoes, not sympathy.
Right. Empathy. I think there's levels to it.
Yes.
Because I think I'm an empathetic, caring person, but I think I only go so far before maybe the cynicism gets in, or I'm going, dude. But that might be the seasoning of life, like and I think everybody goes through their own journey. But I do think a huge reason is because you're his mom and you're showing him the way, and I guess that's what I'm trying to get back to is just that always impressed me about you every time we talked. It felt like you grew another milestone or you learned something new, and it sets you off on like this positive charge in the right direction. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I never walked out of our conversations going, oh man, she is going downhill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I just think to your credit, that's amazing. And I think a lot of single mothers, if any of them are listening to this show or something like that, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. I've always told people, or I've always kind of developed this theory that there's two things in this world you can control, and that is your attitude and your effort. Mm-hmm. Other than that, you can't control anything else, right? But we have a tendency to hold on to things or feel we can control. Mm-hmm. And I think a kid or raising a child teaches you very quickly, you don't have a lot of control over shit. And you can either be pissed off about it, you can either go, well, that didn't go according to plan, or you can just roll with the punches and go, all right, let's make the best out of this and see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. So tell me how you got into martial arts. And what kind of martial arts do you actually do? So
I do kickboxing and Taekwondo. Now I do Taekwondo. When my sister was little, she did karate. All right. And then I kickboxed when she was little.
Now, kickboxing, you talking about actual Muay Thai kickboxing gloves, or are you talking about that's kind of a workout thing you started doing?
It is more of a workout thing for me. I mean, yeah, I have my gloves. I have, my whatever. But
do you go to like that round 7 or 10
No.
Or...
I can plug this man because this is a person that has helped me. Sung Hae.
Would he be a good person on the podcast?
I think, yeah. I think he, with his knowledge of everything and just how he grew up, that's one way that we actually connected. And I just told him one little thing, and that just spun into everything else. And then the positive that man brings to me and TJ's life as a positive role model and as a man, I think that studio saved me more than anything.
I could tell.
Honestly, yeah.
I think it really, like I said, not that you were a negative person before or anything of that nature, but I felt, and let me know if I'm wrong, I felt like you didn't find yourself yet. Mm-mm. And then all of a sudden, you started telling me about you doing kickboxing, and you took TJ to Taekwondo. And what, did you just decide to just join him one day? And
so after probably about a year of us, like me cutting his hair, is when it came up that I used to kickbox, and he owns a studio.
Yeah.
And he's like, just come in, just one day, just come in. That's 6 years
so
ago.
He opened his doors to you,
and he was just like, just come in. But I had to lose 30 pounds just to start to go back. So the last 74 have been with him.
Did you feel that way, or was that a goal for you, or did he
tell
you?
No. It was me. I knew, because when I used to kickbox, it was before I was pregnant, and then I got pregnant, and then I gained all 104, and then I broke my foot before he turned a year old.
How'd you break your foot?
My ex's sister's bachelorette party. There may have been tequila involved.
There may have been tequila involved. So what, you got what happened?
I was going around a swivel chair.
Yeah.
And I was wearing wedges.
At a bar?
No. This is at the bachelorette party.
What's a wedges?
Wedges, like the shoes.
I'm a guy. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. So it's a shoe that has. It's not like the stiletto heels.
Okay.
It's the one that has like the cork. The big fat base.
Okay. Yeah.
And I went around the table, and I went around the swivel chair, and I rolled my ankle, and instead of rolling my ankle, I actually broke my foot. And then I ended up still going to the club. I mean, I'm with nurses, and I am with cops, because that is his sisters, right? Okay. The nurse one was the one that was getting married. So this is all these people, not that many. And I'm like, I'm drinking whiskey, I'm drinking beer, and they're like, here, pop this. Like, you'll be okay. Oh, it's hilarious. Really? Not like to get me messed up.
Pop what?
I wouldn't take the pills. I wouldn't take them.
Do you know what they were?
They were probably like some pain medicine or something. I don't know what it was. I don't take pills.
They're just carrying around pain medicine.
They're nurses. They know. But I honestly thought something was wrong.
Yeah.
And they didn't see anything wrong, because my ankle didn't swell up, and I was like, it's not my ankle. But they didn't see that I had actually broken my foot right here, because you couldn't see anything at that point.
You broke your foot bone.
But my fifth metatarsal. And I ended up still going to the club, sitting down the whole time. When we got back to the hotel, I had to like crawl into my hotel room.
Everybody thought you were just drunk.
No, I stopped drinking.
Oh.
I couldn't even walk. They were helping me walk.
You're so responsible.
I am. But then I got back to the hotel room, and the next morning I stood up and I fell right back down. So I ended up going, and that was the night before Mother's Day. So now this is my very first Mother's Day. I'm going to the hospital.
Oh, man.
And they're like, so we have good news and bad news. I'm like, all right, bad news. They're like, you broke your foot. And I'm like, what's the good news? She's like, where you broke it. And I'm like, okay. She said, where I broke it was a clean break. But if I would have gone just just like maybe a half an inch further towards the tip of my finger or my toe, I would have had problems walking. I would have had, I would have needed surgery. I would have had problems walking for the rest of my life because of where I broke it. So that was on my first Mother's Day. So I had a broken foot on my first Mother's Day. Yeah.
Why do women wear shoes like that?
Because you guys think it's cute, and we're taller.
Do we?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
I think maybe there's some guys that have like fantasies.
It does make our calves look really nice.
It does do that. I agree with that.
That I will say.
Yeah.
But I'm not
actually,
risking,
I will absolutely agree. But
I will not risk breaking my ankle or anything like that. I have some of them that I will wear, but I know how I can walk in
my
them.
poor wife will wear some shoes that she looks really. There's nothing really that she looks bad in. But
you're just saying that.
No. I think she's a beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Which, let me stop you. Normally, when two good-looking people have a kid, they don't have a good-looking kid. You have a good-looking little kid.
Thank you.
Because usually the kid's ugly. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, look at their kid.
I thought they didn't have a kid.
Shiloh?
But I thought they adopted.
No. They have all the other 17,000 that they adopted. They also have their own children.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Shiloh. Look at Shiloh.
Oh, well. I'll Google him.
Yeah.
If this screen was hooked up right now, I'd have it Googled and we'd see what he looks like right there. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I think it's a girl.
It's a girl?
I don't know.
I'll see. I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention to that.
Anyway.
But thank you for the compliment.
You're very welcome.
What were we talking about?
You gotta direct me back to how I got my positivity.
Yeah. So, and actually, the martial art thing. Mm-hmm. So, you lose what? How much weight did you lose to go back?
I lost 30 to go back.
Okay.
And then I lost 50 just last year.
Okay.
So that's 80.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And then the other 24 was over the course of just a few years before that. I lost half of my weight just last year because I put my mind to it, because I was tired. I was tired of looking like crap. I was tired of feeling like crap. And I also had somebody, now my boyfriend, who also works out and also has that same mentality. Not completely, because the man will go and eat, whatever. But the way he works out,
What does he do? Do you know what kind of workout?
Oh, well,
powerlifting?
No. He was doing, he does a lot of like lift, like just regular lifting, not like power.
Yeah.
He did Orange Theory for a while. So like for our anniversary, I gave him the 2 months to go to Orange Theory because I know he couldn't afford it.
Right.
But I wanted to give him something that I knew he would enjoy and he would like. So I also had somebody that knew the struggle that I was going through and has always been a positive part of it,
So pushed you in the right direction.
Not pushed me, went with me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense. So you had a partner in crime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the days you didn't feel like going, they pushed you.
Yeah, and or I right now, I weigh. What was it? I was 161 this morning.
Okay.
Right? That is 13 pounds more than what I got down to my lowest weight, which was 148.
Okay.
But when I looked at my pictures of last year, May, when my son got his orange belt, and then I looked at my pictures of me getting my orange belt the day before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I weigh 4 pounds less in the picture now than I did in the one a year ago, but I look completely different. And I didn't realize that. I have to stop thinking like the number on the scale is what determines it.
Yeah.
And I have to go back to looking at pictures because I look at myself every day and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, I was told not to, because I did that too. I was told the worst thing to do was go on a scale.
Yes, but I knew that on days that I'm just like, okay, my vest.
Yeah.
I started in a 3X that I could not zipper when I started.
Your vest?
My vest at work.
Oh, your vest. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I started in a 3X that I could not zipper. Okay. And I got down to a medium. But I knew that something was wrong when that medium was not fitting the same way. Uh-huh. And now I'm back in my large, but now because I went back to working on, I'm back to doing my regimen since last month. I'm feeling better again.
Good.
And I know that the 161 doesn't matter. I am seeing
a lot of that could be you're adding muscle now. Muscle weighs more than fat.
It does not weigh more than fat. It takes up less room because a pound of muscle still weighs the same as a pound of fat. It just is more dense.
So it's heavier.
It's heavier.
Okay.
Right? So
wouldn't heavier
or not
more?
heavier. No. It's more dense. Like it's still 16 ounces is 16 ounces.
Right.
But 16 ounces of fat is going to be like this, where 16 ounces of muscle is going to be like this. It just takes up less room.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yes, I'm gaining muscle, but I'm not. It's the weight that I'm at now is a good. It's a good solid.
You're comfortable.
You're right. Well, I've been talking to my instructor, Master Tommy, Sung Hae, Buffalo Grove. And I asked him, like, do you think I could fight in a ring? And he said, you can do anything you really want to. If you can handle getting hit, then you can fight in a ring.
Can you handle getting hit?
I don't know. I'm going to start hopefully next week.
What?
Like sparring, like actual sparring.
Getting punched in the face?
Sparring with the other people that go and go into the ring and actually fight the fights. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay.
I know you don't like what I do.
No, it's not that I don't like what you do. It's not that I don't like. That's not true.
Because what you said is that our bodies are not made to do that, like to be punched. I remember that conversation.
I don't like the idea of getting punched in the head.
Yeah, but. That's
okay.
Why you,
this isn't back in the days in the 1800s or the 70s, or it's not back in the days where we had to fight for food, and so you had to punch somebody in the face to get food so you could survive. It wasn't like that.
Right.
Like, there's studies out there. Like, you're a mom. You're a single mom. You don't want to get punched. It's not so much. It's not so much. Yeah, you don't want to get punched in the face. You don't want to get punched in the face. You want to get punched in the. I think I know where you're at. You want to see how far you can go.
Because I know that what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Is not enough. Like, yeah, I'm working out at the studio.
Are you preparing yourself to get mugged one day? Is that what you're doing? Like, see if you can handle a punch from a guy and an assailant?
I'll be very, very honest. My stepdad always said.
Yeah.
Always wear shoes you can run in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Always have some type of weapon on you, however that may be. So I used to carry a knife because.
What kind of knife?
A small little, less than 3 inch.
Was it one that you had to pull out?
Yes.
With your fingernail?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I don't think you'd have time if someone's attacking you to pull out your knife.
Correct.
Yeah. Just stick your key in there.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. Why do you think I have so many? Everybody asks me, why do you have so many keys? I'm like, oh, I'm a janitor.
That thing, you could just around your head and just, anybody comes within a radius of you, they're gonna get smacked.
Should we show the people like my weaponry?
I don't think so. We don't need to do that.
And trust no one. Like people are out. There are bad people out there.
Of course, there's a lot of bad people.
So it's like always walk on the with your child. If you're walking with your child, always walk on the outside on the sidewalk. Very simple things that my stepdad.
Self-awareness.
Yes, yeah. And so no, I'm not.
Well, it's going to get really hard with our kids because if you watch anybody now, they're looking at their phones.
They're like this 24/7.
Yeah.
They don't want to get their licenses now. At 16, they want to wait till they're 18 because then they can be on their social media the whole time. There's a big.
Who told you that?
No. It's what I've noticed, and because I cut so many people's hair, and I cut so many people's hair that have kids that are going into trying to going into the driving age.
Yeah.
That they're waiting longer to get their licenses. Yeah.
On purpose, they're doing that.
The kids are like, oh, I'm okay. They're not as eager as you or I was. 16th birthday, my mom took me out half day of school to go get my license.
Really?
They're not doing that as much.
That shocks me a little bit. Yeah. That they wouldn't want that freedom. So I'm wondering where their freedom's coming from.
Their freedom is coming from the other kids that realize, if I have my license and I can go and take the car, I can go. But then the other little guy who wants to be on his little Instagram or his little Twitter or whatever and want to be facing in their phone, they have somebody that can drive them, so they have that freedom, but they don't have to give it up themselves. Or if they do get their license, they're not the ones driving.
I don't get that, but it's not. I don't believe you. It's just I can't wrap my head around.
There are some people I cut both the brothers. Okay,
right.
One brother is more into social media than the other. Okay. Normally, it's the younger one versus the older one.
Okay.
And the older one will be well, sometimes, but one of them will be I want to drive and I want to do this, and this one's all right, whatever. I don't care if I can drive because this one's on their phone. And this one's just I want to go. I want to leave. Or it's the opposite. The younger one's well, you're home from college, but I need the car. And it's all right, well, the older one's just it's not worth the fight. And they'll just sit and just kind of do their own little thing. At 16 years of cutting hair, I've seen a lot.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. When you're cutting kids' hair, do you like it?
I didn't for a long time before because I was just dude, stop moving. And then the parents didn't help.
Okay.
Now it's a lot easier, I think, because I have TJ. I have more patience on that. Or
you just give them a phone to look at and they don't move?
No, I actually take the tablet away from some of them. I'm no, you don't need it. 7-year-olds, 6-year-olds. No, you don't need the tablet. You can talk to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You think we're being a little too hard on a 7-year-old?
No, it's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault.
I mean, when I was 7, I don't remember really conversing that much with adults versus kids.
So one of the women that I kickbox with said, and she noticed this because she works with speech therapy and that kind of stuff. She's do you know how many 7-year-olds can have a conversation with an adult? And I was oh. She's not very many, but TJ can.
Are you bragging about yourself?
I am. Yeah. Because I talk. And he looks you in the eye. And it's things that you don't have.
I get it. I think it's really important. I think right now we're even battling with Gwen with screen time.
She
like she sees. Oh, absolutely.
She should not be having screen time. Well, at 10 months.
She doesn't have screen time in terms of just like, you know, she sits down and we walk away type thing. But there's one song she likes that she dances to. Mm-hmm. So when she's in one of her crazy moments, we'll break that out because we want 4 minutes of just quiet.
Then what happens when you want 10 minutes of quiet? And then what happens when you want a half hour of quiet? And then what happens when you want 2 hours of quiet?
Alcohol.
That I understand. Kidding. No, you're not kidding, but you kind of are. But that's where it's like I've seen that change because kids now don't have that type of communication. TJ's cousin is 4 months older than him.
Yeah. And
at 2 years old, her 4-year-old sister and her got the tablets, right?
Oh, I'm not giving my child a tablet.
No. I'm just saying, TJ didn't get one. I didn't give him one. So for quite a few years there, you could tell that TJ was more communicative.
Yeah.
Okay. And his cousin, same age, 4 months older, little girl, just wasn't. Like, she would take things from him and he'd be like, can I have that back?
Yeah.
And his aunt would be like, not the mom, but the other aunt would be like, go take it back from her. And TJ's like, whatever. Like, there was differences because your brain is developing. And I see that over the course of the years of literally just cutting kids' hair. And I was like, I want TJ to be able to have a conversation with somebody, look them in the eye, and not get nervous, not get like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. He can literally talk to anybody. If he was here right now, he'd talk to you. He'd tell you bad jokes. Yeah. You know, it's great. I love it.
That's the one thing that's bad, probably, is you're teaching your kid all these bad jokes.
It is. It's great.
Yeah.
It is great.
Oh, opinions vary.
He's a good kid.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm not.
Because if you know what? Because if he was an asshole,
I'm not saying that at all.
I know.
I'm saying you're worse than him. Anyway.
Because it's cute from a 7-year-old.
Okay, so
who's to my shoulders now?
Is he really?
He grew 3 inches.
You're not that big.
I'm 62.
You're not that tall. You're not that tall. Sorry.
He's 51.
I'm not impressed. When you can look me in the eye, I'll be impressed.
Okay. Yeah. Stool. Do you have stools?
Well,
or how about this? Why don't you? My sister. I'm like.
Oh.
No. Okay.
I
was just not having that vibrate because it's gonna. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so take me back now. So you're what belt are you now?
I am now an orange belt, so that's my 3rd belt.
That's your 3rd belt.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it to get to these belts? Like, what's the next stage? Do you have to go through how many, like, to get a black belt in Taekwondo, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many years is that going to take you?
10.
10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are there 10 belts?
No. There's 8 forms. Oh, maybe there are. Hold on. Because there's also, like, degrees. So, like, I think the red has a degree, and there's a black... Am I boring you?
No.
You totally just, like, try to hide your yawn.
No, I didn't try to hide my yawn.
Oh, you didn't? That's how you yawn?
I thought I yawned.
No. That was, like, a hiding yawn.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. White, yellow, orange, green, purple, blue, brown, red with a black with a white, black, and then 10 degrees of black.
The last 3 sound like bullshit.
The last 3?
Yeah, the red with the black.
The red with the black stripe,
white.
because it's a degree of whatever. Even still, it'll take
about
me
10 years.
It'll take me 10 years to get to the black, but it'll take about I think it's a year or a year and a half that you have to train, like you have to practice for your black belt.
Yeah.
And the black belt test, the last one that he did, was 6.5, 7 hours long.
Really?
Yeah. And then
what do you do for 7 hours?
You do a lot of kicking, a lot of things. You spar.
Really?
When you're going into the brown belt, you have to run 2 miles before.
Is this just his school or is this Taekwondo?
Is his. No, he does formal Korean Taekwondo, right? Okay. But and it is not when it branched off to South and North, it's Korean Taekwondo. Yeah. And he is Korean. Uh-huh. And it's called Taeguk is the form. Taeguk is the form. So from getting your your black belt to then a first degree is a year and a half.
Well, I understand the degrees after a black belt because now you're like...
You have to register as a weapon at some point in your black belt.
So let me ask you a question. Why do you like it?
That one teaches you control.
Control over what?
Like your forms, because you have to do forms.
Right.
So you have to be present and balanced, and you have to stay in control of your own body to be able to do these things, and that teaches you.
That's what you get out of it.
That is what it's supposed
to
be.
What do you?
What do I get out of it?
Yeah.
That it's just.
What makes you want to keep going back there?
I just enjoy it. I truly enjoy it. I don't know what it is other than like.
You don't. Is it the saying "Hiya" screaming out loud?
No, actually, I don't do that very loudly. No, and I don't kick very high.
The camaraderie.
They do care about you. When my mom passed away, that studio was very, very.
That's
like,
nice.
It
almost becomes an extension of your family.
It really did. Okay. It really did. Okay. They yeah.
That's really cool. But, I think when you can find a place like that,
that it's not competition. It's not a competition of how many calories can I burn and watch you do that, and how many. There is a form of it, a little bit of it, but it's like when I'm not there at night to kickbox.
Yes.
Which.
See, you keep calling it kickboxing
because he does a mixed martial arts studio. I started with kickboxing, and now I'm in Taekwondo as well. Okay, so it's two separate things.
So hang on a second then. So when are you gonna start training to fight?
That would be a third thing.
Okay, are you training MMA fight?
Like, no, it would be boxing.
So you're just gonna box. You're not gonna throw kicks. You're not gonna do anything like that.
You From what I'm watching, one of the other girls and like there's another mom there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And she won her last fight, and you're yawning again. And one of the other,
I swear to God, I'm not yawning.
Are you going through a seizure or something?
I think I might be.
Okay, well then I don't know what to do. I do actually. I do know what to do.
Keep talking about what you're saying. The mom.
The most that I see them is throwing more punches. Every once in a while, there's a kick here and there, but that's just to like. Throw the bottom in there.
Where are they kicking? Are they kicking the bottom of the legs?
Or? Front kicks, roundhouses, like kicking the thigh.
Are they connecting or are they getting blocked most of the time when they're fighting? Is this them sparring?
This
or
is
did
them
you
sparring.
Watch an actual event?
This is them sparring.
Have you gone to an event to see what you're going to do?
Not yet because I wasn't able to go to hers.
Okay, but you're going to, right? You're planning.
Yeah, there's a guy that's going to be fighting in June, and I'm gonna try and make it to his.
So where are these?
It's various places.
But like where? Like in a high school gym, or are they like in arena?
I think there was a Libertyville sports complex. I think that's
they do it there.
Mm-hmm. I haven't.
You gotta let me know when you do this. I'll come watch.
I know.
I'll come watch.
I think it'll. I just
think
have to see
cool.
if I can get.
I think it'd be cool. Hey, if you're willing to go through this to figure out, if it sounds to me like you want to answer something about you, which is fine. I think everybody needs to find their place and they need to push themselves to however they want to push themselves. Yeah. I just don't like the idea of getting hit in the head. But that's me. And but this is coming from a guy that played football.
I was going to say, like, football, I mean, that's constant.
It depends on what position.
Yeah, exactly.
Depends on what position. And the position I was at, it is constant, but it shouldn't be constant. Mm-hmm. I wasn't taught properly.
What were you, tight end?
I was a bunch of things, but most of the time I was offensive line, tight end, defensive end. So I was on the line. So
So it's always
or a linebacker.
My mom, she's like, the only reason why I like to watch these football games is because of the tight ends.
My mom said that too.
I quit smoking. I quit smoking the same way.
I didn't know you smoked.
I smoked 10 years in January.
Did you smoke cold turkey or was it like a really?
Yeah,
That's interesting. I didn't know that about you. How do you feel? Did you feel? Did you notice right away the difference?
I didn't smoke like how my mom did, and the reason why she passed away is because she didn't stop. Right. Okay. So for me to stop, it was like when my grandma had passed away. 6 months later, it was Mother's Day. It was, like her birthday. Blah blah blah, and I went from not smoking for the last 2 years to going 6 months straight to a pack a day. And I did a pack in like every 5 days when I did smoke for the couple of years that I did. Right. So I went hardcore. I gained 60 pounds when my grandma died. I was bad for those 6 months. And then the day after her 1 year, it was like I woke up and I just didn't do it again.
It seems to me you've always had this inner strength. And sometimes life takes over and you kind of lose your way. But it seems to me like you always find a way to get back on your path. I
don't want...
You want to be a better person.
I don't want to be some person living in the gutter somewhere where nobody cares about them. Right. Even if I didn't have TJ. I did that before I had TJ. Yeah. Yeah. Now I have somebody to show it for and to show them that it's okay to have a bad day.
Yeah. That's cool. I think that's really cool. I think a lot of people want to be that way. I think a lot of people, they hear that little voice inside telling them what to do. I think for some reason they think it's impossible. But what I learned from you is that, again, like you just take these small little steps and you gain momentum. The next thing you know, you're down and you've lost weight, you feel great, you're eating healthy, you're kicking ass, you're getting ready to fight. What are you gonna do if you lose? Is that gonna piss you off or?
Probably, but it'll make.
Will it piss you off or will it destroy you personally? Not destroy you.
No,
that's
no.
a harsh
No, because
word.
I keep thinking about like what happens if I were to get knocked out, or what happens if or something like that, and I just think, I honestly think that like.
You think you're gonna win?
I want to.
Of course, it doesn't.
No, but if I lose or if anything happens, then what am I gonna do the next time to change that and learn from it and make it better? No.
Have you ever been hit in the face?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay, so you can take it. You know what it feels like. Okay.
But not to the extent of like a fighter who's going to, I've gotten into fights before.
So is this going to be a Taekwondo fight or?
No, I think it might be more boxing. I think it might be more. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it'd be. I don't think it would be.
Seems to me like it's light MMA.
Well, MMA is mixed martial arts, so you can go to the ground, you can do all that. You
can't do that here.
That's not what I think I'm going to be doing. No.
So you don't even know what you're going to be doing.
Well, it's because I'm watching the other girl train for hers.
Anything that she would do that would make that...
Okay, like, she's not going to the ground to take down the other person.
Right, but let's say you watched her, and she did something that made you go, okay, I don't think I want to do this.
I haven't said that yet.
What would that be, though?
I don't know.
You don't know? So what if all of a sudden she started learning how to grapple and do jiu-jitsu stuff?
We do jiu-jitsu and taekwondo. I do that on Thursday nights.
Have you choked anybody out?
I'm learning.
Could you choke me out right now?
If I could remember the steps.
Okay, I want you to know what you're doing.
I know. Now this is the fun part.
All right.
I'm grappling against first and second degree black belts.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
And my instructor has watched me now both times with the two separate people.
Okay.
And when we're grappling, I don't know. Okay, Taekwondo is defense. It's not offense.
Okay.
Karate is more offense. Okay. Taekwondo is to get you away. Do what you need to do to run away. You know?
All right. Sounds smart.
Yes. So,
So wait, if it's defense, what do they teach you if somebody comes up behind you in a dark alley? Or do they teach you not to walk down the dark alley?
There you go. Don't walk down the dark alley.
But what if you have to?
If you have to, you have a weapon on you. And he does teach you how to do other things, but it's all defense. It's not like it's so here. I know some of the things that they're teaching, right? So Thursday nights we do technically jiu-jitsu, okay?
Why'd you say it like that? Technically jiu-jitsu.
Because grappling, people are like, they don't understand. Or if I say grappling, some people might understand that. Or if I say jiu-jitsu, they'll understand that. So technically, it's like if I say, oh, grappling, oh, we're just rolling around on the floor. No, technically there are things that it's a jiu-jitsu. That's the name of it.
Isn't it?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I heard it's a really good workout, actually.
So this is the funny part. Because I've been kickboxing for consistently 5 years, 6 years. I have strength all over my body. Okay? Taekwondo is more kicks. It's more lower body. Because
keeping a distance.
Keeping a distance, correct. So when I first grappled with the one girl, she was getting out. Okay, she's a 2nd degree black belt. But she's really tall. But she couldn't completely get me. She couldn't get me on my back. She couldn't pin me down. She couldn't grab. She couldn't do that.
Right.
So when all 3 of us, we were partnered again, the other girl who hadn't seen me grapple yet.
All 3 of you guys.
Because because sometimes there's an odd number. So these 2 will go, then us 2, then whatever. So
I thought you were taking on 2 at a time.
Well, that's during the testings.
Okay.
So now this one's already seen me, right? The other one hasn't yet. So I looked at Ari and I was like, hey, do you want me to go with her today? And she's like, yeah. And the entire time I was on top of that girl, just keeping her from getting on top of me. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
I was just doing instinctively what I wanted to do to make sure she couldn't get me. My instructor is standing over her saying, okay, shrimp out this way. All right, swing your body this way. Do that. She couldn't get out from under me.
She couldn't move.
And then the thing that they had in common that they both said afterwards, and that was a good maybe 6 minutes of us grappling.
Yeah.
I was dripping. I was
sure,
like,
yeah.
And when we got in the back, she's like, your arms are so fucking strong. And that's
cool.
the same thing that Ari had said. That's so like, I instinctively was just like, I don't want you on my back, but I don't know what to do yet in the grappling, right?
Okay.
So I'm going against technically people who are supposed to just willy-nilly just get on top of me and do what they want.
So what's your favorite part? Do you like grappling? Do you like kicking? Do you like what part? It seems to me like you said he seems like he teaches more mixed martial arts than he teaches a certain style. Or is that certain style mixed martial arts? Am I misunderstanding this?
So kickboxing is different than Taekwondo. So
right,
like,
yeah.
So like Taekwondo itself is the Taeguk Korean style. That is the forms that we do.
Okay.
And then he teaches us like the strikes and the blocks and all that. That's one form of it.
Okay.
But when we're actually sparring,
that
we're not sparring to then take you down. No, we're doing more. It's all kicking.
Right.
Okay. It's not fighting hand to hand in Taekwondo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but when we're in kickboxing,
right,
we're doing certain combinations with kicks or without kicks or whatever. It's just a really strong workout.
Right.
But we're not taking those people down to the ground.
So when you say you grapple on Tuesdays?
Thursdays.
Okay,
that's
I guess what I'm saying
Taekwondo.
is, how often do you go?
I go Mondays and Wednesdays. We're there from 5 until
Mondays and Wednesdays.
9.
What are you doing?
So Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays is sparring, so we're in our full gear.
Yeah.
Okay. TJ goes for the first 2 classes. I go for the second class.
Okay.
So and then I kickbox for the third class, which is another hour and a half. So we're there for 4 hours.
Okay.
Okay, on Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday's all forms. So in my class, we'll do like a half hour of like cardio just to warm up.
Yeah.
And then we'll start learning our forms. So whatever we're...
And then Thursday you're doing
Thursday
grappling.
is the grappling.
Okay, so out of those 3 days, which one do you like the most? Sparring,
I
right?
do not like...
I'm not saying not one you
I'm
don't
thinking,
like. Just tell me what you like. Your favorite. You're like, yeah, I get to do this today.
Wednesday.
The forms.
The forms.
Okay, I thought you'd be into sparring or grappling, but hey,
so
you're into what you're into.
I like sparring.
Yeah.
But because I can't figure out yet, like, how to kick certain people or like how to get out of their, like, I'm still learning certain things.
Okay, so you're learning to read your opponent still. Right.
And that's my issue. So I'll like it more once it clicks in my brain.
Okay.
But Thursdays I really like because as soon as I'm like, we're getting on the ground. All right, you're gonna teach me how to do an armbar. Awesome. But Wednesdays, I can't remember it right now.
So if I were to tackle you in the street, could you defend yourself?
I could defend myself, but I don't. At this particular moment, my Taekwondo skill is not going to kick in. It's my instinct.
Right.
That's
what I'm assuming you're training to eventually turn that into an instinct versus
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're a badass, and you carry scissors.
I do. Scissors. I carry scissors.
Don't you?
No.
No.
The little knife.
Oh, that little flip
pocket.
knife. Yeah. Little foot life.
Actually, I don't know.
All right, we're gonna get into a little heavy conversation here because I'm curious. What do you think of the abortion law in Alabama?
Alabama?
Yeah. What's your view?
They're saying what, that no abortions regardless of incest or rape or anything like that, right?
From what I understand, correct. Yeah, you are correct. I could be wrong and that could be bullshit.
No, I think it's like it's completely like the whole anti-abortion thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that a law should be made in place for something like that. I think that needs to be on the person who's carrying the baby. Not because I'm a woman, not because I had a child, but because that's something that is just I don't think that's right.
I agree with you. I think the law they're passing is very black and white. And I think the issue that they're trying to pass a black and white law on is a gray area. And I mean like 1,000 shades of gray.
If a brother molests his sister,
right,
and they have the same gene pool, we've already seen this in animals, that when there's incest, there becomes genetic problems. So you're saying, okay, government over here, that if this gene pool messes with this gene pool, which is the same, and then you create a baby, and then that one goes off, and we're all connected somehow.
Right.
Things are just going to keep getting worse. If a man that is HIV, AIDS, whatever, okay, has a deathly virus in their body, and now they go and they rape this woman, and now she's carrying a baby that has it now too. That one's gonna pass it on. I'm not saying that the baby shouldn't live, but at the same time, like,
I think you get into a slippery slope when you again are trying to attach this is the law to a situation that with each person is completely different. And that's I think that's where you're running into a problem. I don't think you can create a law over that. I never wanted to have kids. My mom stopped me from tying my tubes at 20 years old because she's like, you're going to change your mind. I was like, no. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And I was like, fine, well, then I'm going to not have it. Like, if I have a baby, I'm either going to give it up for adoption or I'm going to give it, I'm going to get rid of it. Because I just didn't want to have kids because I could see how society was going to, I could see the world, like how it was going to start going. It was just something in me that I'm just like, it's not going to get better. And to bring a kid into this is not going to get better.
I think that's bullshit.
I know, but that's how I felt at 20 years old.
I felt that way too at some time. I don't know what age I felt like, but I felt like that was more of an excuse.
Correct.
Yeah.
The second I found out I was pregnant,
that went away.
The literal conversation that I had with my ex was, well, I'm not giving it up and I'm not giving it away. And he's like, so we just made our decision? I'm like, yep. Because you don't know how you're going to feel until that you're in
Absolutely
it.
True.
There was no way.
For a lot of things, actually.
There was no way. I was with that man for 3 freaking months when I found out I was pregnant. Yeah. And I was with a guy for 4 years before that. My very first boyfriend for 4 years.
Yeah.
A year later, I'm with this guy for 3 months, and I have an almost 8-year-old child.
Wow.
And it's like, the second I knew that I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not giving him up, and I'm not gonna give it away. So
yeah. I think what's even crazy is if the girl goes and leaves the state and gets an abortion, she can go to jail for that. So you're gonna put a woman in jail for making a decision
on her
yeah. Look, I don't have the answers. I'm not pretending to do. I'm not pretending to have answers. I'm thinking it's a little more complicated than a cut and dry. This is the law, right? Yep. It's just a little hard, and so I don't know what they're doing. I feel like it's a rush to judgment to go back to the old days, if that makes any sense. I think a lot of people are scared of how things are moving, right? And it's like it's kind of like when you go to your dad's house this isn't my dad, by the way, but I'm for an example. You go to your parents' house and you take out cable and you put in Hulu, right? They freak out because it's new technology, it's new stuff they have to learn, and their first response is, "Oh, just go back to the old way," because
they don't know how to.
Right.
Yeah.
Because adjusting's too hard. Right.
Change. Nobody likes change.
Nobody likes change, and we're in a world of change.
I don't like change, but I know that it's good.
Yeah. I think change.
Certain things.
I think change, as long as you look at it positively and you try to find some sort of way to grow from it, I think it works out. But I think that's a direct response to people freaking out about how the world's going right now. That's what I think. I could be total bullshit. What do I know? Like I like to tell people, I'm just a monkey with a mic. So, fuck if I know.
Well, at least you're letting other people hear it, though.
Well, whoever listens to it.
Exactly. I already got... Hey, you got 30 subscribers, though, on YouTube. I saw that.
I think one's my wife. God bless her.
And one's me.
Okay, thank you.
So you got two.
That.
And my boyfriend was like, can I listen to it? Can I watch it? And I was like, yeah, if you had social freaking media.
There we go.
Because he's 41. He'll be 42 in October.
He avoids it like the plague?
No, he just knows that what's in the brain out the mouth for him, and he might get himself in trouble.
Well, I'm a big proponent of bringing people on here that I don't necessarily agree with. Mm-hmm. Not because I want to debate them, but because I want to understand where they're coming from.
Understand where, yeah.
Because maybe I haven't thought of that angle. Mm-hmm. And maybe they could open my eye. I keep doing that by the mic.
Yeah, you do.
But anyway, here's something that we were going to talk about. I said, you got to say this for the podcast. Religion.
Yeah.
What's your view on it? These are taboo topics, by the way.
The very first things that they teach you in freaking beauty school is don't talk about sex, politics, and religion.
Yep.
And it's like, do you not understand that that's like everything that everybody wants to talk about? Yeah. I'm like, okay. Well,
I don't know a lot about politics, so I'm going to stay out of that realm.
Yeah. Except that I do know that they're trying to impeach the president.
I think they've been trying. He doesn't give a fuck.
He wouldn't He'd actually be like, oh, so now I can go and golf and not worry about it.
The one thing that I will say about Donald Trump, and this is probably the last thing we're going to say about Donald Trump.
Okay, yeah.
But the one thing I would actually say about him is one way or another, he's bringing everybody together, whether they're for him or against him. He's bringing people together, and I think this election is going to be probably the biggest in the history of elections. Just because we don't know what's going to happen, you know? And I think a lot more people are paying attention now.
Yeah. So maybe you don't know this about me. We'll get back to the religion thing in a second. But at night, I watch PBS. I don't watch Bachelorette and all that other crap. So I watch Chicago Tonight, Nightly Business Report, BBC America.
Really?
I watch all of the... I may have my drinks and I forget what I'm watching after a while and I fall asleep. Hey, it works. But... like I'm watching like everything that's happening with the Brexit and like the stock market. Not that I understand everything, but at least I'm trying to keep myself in that loop. And it's not just Channel 7, Channel 32, Chicago. It is literally everything around the world.
Yeah, I have an app that's like Smart News, and I read it every day.
Really?
Yeah, it has like little tip. I mean, obviously there's too much on there to me for me to read, and I think half of it I wouldn't understand. Yeah.
But at least it's like
if you dive in and you figure it out.
Right, and something might click in there, or, whatever. Right. So, I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban, okay? And so the way
before we go into religion, I want you to keep talking. Do you want me to get another one?
Yeah, you could. It didn't do anything. It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
No. But, all right,
is this where you're going to cut it off?
No, keep going. Keep talking. We're good.
You want to make a mixed one?
No, that'll take too long.
Okay, fine.
Puerto
Rican, Cuban. I should say Cuban and Puerto Rican now more because, my mom, but... I
have a friend that hates it when I walk off the camera, but I don't care. It's my podcast.
It's your podcast. Oh,
yeah.
What are you doing?
That's yours. All right, go ahead. Cheers.
Cheers.
What are they saying, Cuba or Puerto Rican for cheers?
Salud.
Salud? I like salud.
Salud. So, when we grew up, we didn't really go to church a whole lot, but technically in like the Hispanic world, you gotta go to church on Sundays, blah, 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 whatever. So, my grandma, and this freaks a lot of people out, you know, in general. We were more spiritual versus like religious in the form of like we had to go to church.
Okay.
We had an altar. Practically every Hispanic family at some point had an altar. So you had all of your saints, you had all your candles, you had all of your incense, you had all the little things, right?
Okay.
And that was supposed to be your protection.
All right.
So instead of going to church and going in front of this guy and kneeling down and doing all of these things and having and saying God can only hear you here, or when you're doing your prayers at night, right? The way we we're spiritual. We both
Go ahead.
We believe obviously that there's God. There is a God. Yeah. Okay, something had to have happened for us to all be here.
Right.
Okay. But that doesn't mean that I have to go to a specific place, no matter what, on this specific day to make sure he hears me.
Okay.
So the spirituality part of it is we have our altar at home. So if we feel like we want to pray at home, or if we want to include our ancestors or our saints, okay? Each saint had something different that they protected. My favorite is San Martin, Saint Martin, and he's the protector of animals.
I like the way you said that. Say it again.
San Martin?
Yeah, I like that. I can't do that.
No.
If I try.
Right. So he's the protector of animals.
Okay.
We've always had animals in the house.
Yeah.
So my grandma technically was a medium. So she couldn't see, right? That's where I get that. She couldn't see the future. It wasn't anything like that. It was more of feeling and like getting senses of things. Okay. Not, your future. You're going to have this. Not like that.
Okay.
And we had our Santera, which is our saint chick. Like she was Santera. I don't know how to say it in English.
Okay.
But like we'd go to her to get like spiritual advice. Our spiritual advisor, right? And she said at one point, I remember this, that I have something in me that I can have that same sense, but that if I just open myself up a little bit to let it all in, that I'd be more powerful than her. And what I've seen through her, I've seen exorcisms. I've seen some shit in through my life. I'm being very honest.
Okay, time out. This is what we're going to do. Okay, moving forward, because I want to get into this. Okay. And I want to make mixed drinks, because I think it's going to get hot and heavy. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this podcast now. Okay. We're going to make a part 2 in literally 2 seconds. I'm just going to stop recording and start recording again. Give us time to get some drinks. Okay. Go to the bathroom, something like that. Okay. So we're ending this podcast now. Okay. All right. And we're going to get hot and heavy into exorcisms and that you've seen an exorcism.
I've seen some shit.
Okay. So come back for part 2 where Tina explains that she has seen some shit. All right? So we'll see you guys for part 2. Take care.